but I don't like to be anywhere close to the airbag when it goes off. So, on today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we make this Walker mower run for real again. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and today we are here working on the Walker again. You can see I got the front wheels off last night. Of course, we changed the oil last night. You saw it in the end of the last video. That was like almost midnight, right before the video came out. And this morning, I went and picked up the fuel pump from the Walker store here, plugged it in, and it runs perfectly. It started sucking fuel right out of the tank, no problems. We got a filter in there to make sure that the pickup tube gets cleaned up just in case there was anything left in it. And we're just waiting on another gas tank. The one from the other mower, I just bought it for $950. Yes, it is down a hydrostat, but it came with my single rear wheel, which is a big deal, a good wheel and tire we can swap on, and a new seat, well, a seat that doesn't have any rips in it, and an engine we're gonna sell for hopefully $950, because these engines, new, are 2000 and change, used about $800. So I'd be absolutely cool with $800 and all the stuff I want from the other mower. Daniel is here again from Knockout Electric, and we are finishing this up today. So while I should be working on the mower, we're up here throwing conduit in and getting ready to pull wire. You excited?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So Daniel just finished up all the work the other guys had left. There's a 4-square down there, so I've got some extra power in the cabinets. I was just chilling. A box up there for the TV wall. It's finally set up. You can see all the conduit running down the wall. 220 for the tire machines all the way back there. If we get tire machines, it's no promise yet. But also, all of our outlet runs down the wall here. And the shipping bench is supposed to be over one, because shipping should be beside a garage door. It only makes sense, right, guys? So what we want is this to move over here, and all of my sealed air machines, which we'll do a tour of. I've been making videos fixing these and everything like that. To me, there's really nothing cooler than all of these packaging machines that create, like, we print our own bubble wrap, we print our own air pillows. Yes, I know they just fill with air and seal them, but we have all of Sealed Air's machines coming, the whole lineup. All of that should be up here, so we can just hit switches and get everything we need dispensed as fast as possible, get our shipping going the way it should. Then all of this will finally get cleaned up and moved, so we can just open this door every day and hand out packages to UPS and FedEx. So I gotta get the ladder in here real quick, finish supporting all this conduit with our Unistrut stacks we have set up in there. And I mean, we're ready to pull wire here, and well, you're ready to pull wire now, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
One piece of conduit away. So it is the next day, and we are here with another Walker mower. This is the 2000 we just went and looked at that had a bad hydrostat. It does have a bad hydrostat, made in USA, right down the street, sort of, at Fort Collins, Colorado. It says it right there. These are actually made in the US. The annoying thing is they use SAE bolts. Don't do that. I don't care if you make your stuff in the US or not. Battery bolts are the way. But we bought this for the fuel tank and the seat and a few other things, because it also came with the wide wheel that we're gonna put on this. The gas tank doesn't fit. We found out as soon as we got here. But the Kohler Command 23 does run amazing. You wanna... This one's got a nicer latch than mine, but
yeah, it's a different style.
Yeah, the new ones, the latch is up here.
And then the even newer ones are here. It's kind of
gotcha.
way better.
So we do need to rip that seat off, which looks relatively easy. And then this is the bad hydrostat, the one with the new fan on it. It looks like some people tried some troubleshooting and then called it. So it does move forward and back, but it's toast in reality. And then over here we have my Walker, the one we just made the video about, that is almost perfect. I mean, everything that matters has been replaced, including, you guys saw the gas tank broke at the end of the last video. Well, since that gas tank didn't work, they had one in stock, so we bought it and put it in, and this time the bolt went in without breaking the tank. It's really hard to get these tanks in here, but it does work. We got it done. So now I'm gonna zip tie in a fuel filter. Previously it didn't have a fuel filter. We did of course find the problem. When we bought it, the guy said it had a bad carburetor. Turns out it was a bad fuel pump. So we've got a new fuel pump in there. That was like $23, $30, something like that. Really the most expensive part of this whole thing has been going to this gas tank. This gas tank is also for the EFI ones. They have venting systems on the EFI, but on the carburetor you just cap it off there because the gas cap itself does the venting. So, oh, I was getting ready to go paint that one.
Oh.
That's why I set it over here. We put new tires, new tubes in the caster wheels, and of course we're painting the wheels white so it'll look new. One thing I did notice is that this deck is timed correctly. You know how the blades have to face, like one has to be up and one has to be sideways or they're wrong? This one is actually correct, so that's cool. There was another one I was just looking at where they were timed wrong, and it's because somebody like did a botched gearbox replacement because they pull it and they don't get the splines right and then it's all over. That's how these things lay down perfect stripes, because the blades counter rotate, they're locked together at the exact same speed and gearbox driven. It's really cool. So if you ever see one where the blades aren't able to go straight up and down like 90 and 90 from each other, then something's wrong, somebody messed it up. But we have this thing completely sorted out, new battery from O'Reilly's, all the new parts from Walker. I'm gonna throw some zip ties on this fuel filter right now. We're gonna put the snorkel back on it, and it's ready to drive. And it would be ready to mow, but the dealership was one tube short. That was a little bit unfortunate there. Check this out. This is one of the old caster wheels. So we put in new tires, new tubes, new everything. These things had rusted onto the wheels, but now I think we've got it all sorted out. Those wheels are painted, and that's where that belongs. In fact, that's where both of these belong. I forgot to yell Colby. Colby. Colby! Anyway, still too soon. You know, I really wanted Carlisle's. This has gotta be worse. This is a Ching Ching. It's gotta be a downgrade from a Carlisle. I'll tell you what, those 8x3.0-4 tires are expensive. We were also gonna steal the wheels from that other Walker. It does turn out they're the older, narrower tires. So now I gotta buy one more drive tire as well, and this thing is, I'm not working on it again for like 5 years. Obviously we did all the fluids, and we'll have the other back tire and brand new tires basically all the way around. I don't plan on touching this thing again. You guys, ignore the shop. Things are changing very quickly behind me. I just got it all put back together. You guys can see we got a fuel filter that is supported. Eric's gonna do the honors here. Fire her up.
They're supposed to sound like that. Not that other one.
You know what it sounds like? Walker, 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 Walker. That is awesome.
Bad now.
All right, guys, obviously the stripes don't matter in this yard yet. We're gonna rip it all out this year, well, at least kill it all with a selective herbicide, replant everything, and then hopefully we can have a golf course worthy lawn as we put up a wall all the way along the front of this. So I'll be able to see my lawn, and I'm excited about that. No, the sensor doesn't work. I almost went and bought new blades, but I wanted to destroy. This yard has never been taken care of. It's so rough and it's completely full of sticks that are like hitting the cars right now. I needed to crush every stick in the yard before we replace the blades. So as soon as we do this initial mow, it'll be probably time to put blades on it. All right, guys. Many of you already know what's going on because there's a seat over there and an extension cord in my hand, which is always code for things are about to get dumb. So obviously we have a very damaged seat out of our titanium fusion. When it got in a wreck, it got hit so hard that it bent the seat bracket sideways, and we weren't gonna be able to sell that. So Eric and I just finished stripping the seat, and it's time to pop the airbag. So I should have a nice good connection right here. Made myself a little jumper wire to this extension cord, ready to be hooked up to this Milwaukee battery, and then we'll stand back at a relatively safe distance. Things you shouldn't be doing.
That's like how your truck's the closest thing to
I know, but the airbag should fire the other direction, right? I think it's on this side.
Yeah.
If it's
the way the curtain.
If it's not, we're gonna be in trouble. That's for sure.
You wanted a new truck.
Yeah. It's really hard to actually make this fire reliably when you're using an extension cord, but I don't like to be anywhere close to the airbag when it goes off. So.
Jeez.
That seat didn't even flinch. It was just like, pop.
Duke. Yeah, I just shoved the wires a little harder in there. And
I thought I made a good connection. I fold them over so it'll really get in the extension cord. Oh, it feels so nice.
Is it warm?
Oh, it's the perfect temperature for this nice cold winter night.
Yeah. Now throw it back in the car it belongs in.
Well, now it's going to the salvage yard. Goodbye, seat. Well, it's been an absolutely insane 2 days, but as you guys saw, my walker is all back together, running great, and mowing the yard just fine. Now, obviously, we're gonna put new blades on it very soon. I'll probably replace one of that drive tire there because it has a slow leak. And after that, hopefully no more maintenance for 5 years. That's really the plan. But the culprit, the whole reason we got this thing cheap was this junk pulse pump here. So we can put this where it belongs too. Right there. I'm done mowing, so obviously the mower already became a drying rack for Corvette parts that we were bringing in from the outdoor wash bay there. These were already cleaned, but we cleaned them again because they were looking a little dirty. And then, as you guys can see, we've been spending a ton of time reconfiguring the entire shop, and we're making good progress. Now, this corner is all going to clean up very soon, but if you take a look over here, this corner is amazing. This is, those are our rotors to add to pallets to make weight, because you want heavy pallets when you ship things. These are our battery stash right there, batteries that we pull out, stuff that'll get returned to O'Reilly's for cores, and of course the new battery out of the Corvette that we'll be using for mini projects. And over here, the shipping station is looking completely epic. It moved from over there, so finally I could push the bench back. This was all waiting on the electrical, and now the electrical is done. That was the last thing. So now that all that conduit is finally up, I can put all of this together, which we have. We've got a UPS back here to make sure this printer stops shutting off, because the label printer freaks out whenever it loses power. So we've got a big UPS hanging out back there. We've got our sealed air machines here so we can print bubble wrap, our sealed air cyclone so we can print inflatable pillows. Personally, I think sealed air is the only name there is in packaging materials and packaging machines. They're insane. So we're going with all of their machines. We've got an Instapacker on the way, which is the foam and bag machine, so we can bag, well, ship doors, glass, things like that, anything fragile. You need to be able to put it in a giant box and make sure it doesn't move one bit. So we'll have our own foam machine, and we have another cyclone coming, I think. This thing spits out bags so fast. I mean, it puts out like, if I could turn it on, but it's having issues sealing. I'm working on it right now. I'm making a video for you guys, but I think the heat strip right here is having some issues on that roller, but it's working. It just doesn't seal every bag. So you'll end up with like 5, 10 good bags and then one miss. So it's being problematic. I need to get that solved, and I think it's just gonna be a new roller. But we also have Sealed Air's Fast Fill Paper Crumpler that just shoots that craft paper down and crumples it up so you can shove it in boxes. And then we'll have the Instapacker, and we'll have everything Sealed Air makes so we can fill voids in packaging. All of these are just empty boxes, things that we brought from home, because sometimes we can't use priority mail boxes when things are going UPS, FedEx, or USPS media mail. So we have to have a variety of boxes, and I'm gonna have obviously way more, and they'll all be organized as we get more boxes in stock. Seat land is over here. Those Escalade seats are trash, which is why we have them stacked like that. They're gonna get stripped for controls and things like that. Corvette dash and Corvette engines, Corvette. The entire Z06. You know, we've got most of this sorted out by carts, and things that are already heading over to the inventory shelves that have been photographed and everything like that. So we are working away, electrical done, walker done, yard mowed today, tons of cleaning done, tons of pictures, tons of listings done, and hopefully this pallet here is headed back to Rich Rebuild soon, which will clean up a lot more of the floor, and I'll get all this junk out of here, and we will have the cleanest shop you've ever seen. This whole area over here was always a disaster before. It had all that conduit. Well, we threw away every piece of conduit that had an offset or a bend in it, because now I have it all up, and I was saving all that in case we needed it. Oh, and the parts walker, we're parting it out, obviously. All these parts will be for sale soon. This should come apart in just a couple of hours. And we might even sell it as a whole, you know? If we could make some money, sell it as a whole. And I got my seat because, shout out to Jordan, I do have my new seat on there. I had to do a bunch of welding on that seat. All the bolts broke off in it because it's all old and rusty, even though that seat has been recently replaced. I had to weld nuts to every bolt and get them out. It was a whole, I mean, I probably spent an hour putting that seat on, but Jordan did a lot of the work swapping them, so credit to him. Then I got all the old bolts out and I even had to re-tap every hole, clean it all up. And we put anti-seize on it so it doesn't do that again. So the seat situation's all figured out. I got a free seat. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. We started making the video on this car like 4 times, and hopefully I'll be able to show it to you guys. I don't know, this was that other 09S that had a blown head gasket. I'll fill you in on all the details, why it's already taken apart, and maybe how it's already paid for, even though we've taken basically nothing apart here very soon. This is one of those videos that we tried to make like 4 times in a row and just kept running into problems.